All right. Tyson Fury cannot help but make a fool of himself. Tyson Fury is had a birthday and did a video in which he used the N-word, and he's walking around playing with his kids, zooted out of his mind. Let's talk about Tyson Fury in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. So, Tyson Fury had a birthday. And like any responsible family man with a kid, he has his birthday party with his family. And plays Biggie Smalls, a song by Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G., rapper from the 90s. And in the midst of the song, the N-word is used. Tyson Fury sings along with the song, uses the N-word. His kids are right there. His kids use the N-word, all on tape. He then takes the recording, puts it up on Instagram for the world to see. Now, is this a delicate itch situation? It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. If you know right from wrong, it should be something that never happens, right? So there's all kind of people that listen, all kind of non-black people that listen to Biggie Smalls, that listen to Tupac, that listen to Method Man, that listen to who is the new kids now, the Baby, and listen to all of these guys, right? And they find a way to never record themselves using the N-word, and putting it out for the world to see. Millions of people sing along to these songs, play it in the car, and they know in their car by themselves when they're rapping da 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 N-word, da 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 N-word, da 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 N-word. In their own car, they can say it and say it and say it and say it and say it. Because they're singing along to a song and nobody can hear them, and nobody will be offended by the fact that they used it. So they keep it to themselves. But not Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury wants the world to know that he will sing along and use the N-word whenever he feels it. Now, why does he feel like he can do that with no regard for what people would think? Because it's in the song. It's in the song. If it's in the song and it's being played by me, I mean, I'm not calling you one. All I'm doing is using it in the song in the same context that it's being used in the song. What's the confusion? What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. And everything that you're saying is correct. However, you also know that there's a lot of people, if they hear you say that, are going to get pissed off. So you're making the choice to say that, knowing you're going to tick a lot of people off, and you did it anyway. So is it really wrong for me to assume that you did it to stick your thumb in people's eyes and say, well, I didn't break the rule. I just walked up on the rule. I just got as close to the rule as I can. I didn't call you one to your face. I sang in a song. So I have what is called plausible deniability. If you're familiar, let me explain the concept of plausible deniability. When a politician wants to do something crooked, they may not say anything, right? They may not do anything. But somebody that is very close to them may do it, but they don't have anything that they say on tape, right? They don't, but the guy very close to them or the lady very close to them proceeds to try to accomplish what the politician wants. And if they get caught, the politician isn't on record doing anything. The guy that's associated with him is, and he has plausible deniability. Not complete deniability, like everybody knows that you ain't got anything to do with it. No, it's just plausible. Like, yeah, we know this looks crooked. Yeah, it's his best friend that did it, and it looks like it's in his interest, but it's plausible that he didn't have anything to do with it. And so therefore, we got to look at the politician side-eyed, like, I think you are up to something, but keep it moving because you really don't have anything onto it, because you don't really have anything on him because he has plausible deniability. He didn't say anything. He didn't do anything. It was just his friend that stole the money, right? And just his daughter that got the job with the guy that stole the money. Or he leaves office and then 3 years and a year after he leaves office, he's working for the guy that stole the money and getting some of the money himself, right? That's the concept of plausible deniability as it applies to politicians. It also applies to Tyson Fury in this situation. He knows he can say that he didn't use the N-word. He ain't racist when he's walking down doing this. My in this, yo in this. When he calls the 2 days before, when he sends a text to Deontay Wilder, he says, yo, G. Yay, hey, G, you ready for some of this smoke, G? He said, well, that's just the slang. That's just the language. I'm not mocking you. I think you're mocking me, Tyson. I think you're mocking me. That's what I think you're doing. I'm not mocking you. It's just in the song. It's just standard slang. That's what it is. Everybody uses it. Yeah, but I think what you're doing is I think you're insulting me, but you're standing right behind a safe space. So even though you got plausible deniability in this, nah, dude, I really think that you meant to upset a lot of black people because you knew a lot of black people would be upset by hearing you use that word. And that was your intent when you posted it. But you thought you could get away with it. That is what I see from Tyson Fury. Now, so I'm not going to say that he's a bad guy for using the word. I can't say that. There's a lot of conversations where people use that word in all kind of ways, and kids are putting it in songs, and people are using it walking down the street in front of everybody. Just, hey, you know what I mean? So the plausible for the people that want to use the word in a duplicitous manner, right? Where it's coming out of their words, their mouth sounding one way, but in their mind it means something else. They've got a little bit of cover. However, Tyson Fury, I don't believe it, dude. I believe he knew exactly what he was doing when he put that out there. However, there is a defense for Tyson Fury, though, and that was that he was high. Because he was high as a kite in that video. That was the thing that stood out more than the song, more than the music and the party, and was that he was so high. He looked complete. His actions were like he was just zooted. So you're zooted on your birthday, singing Biggie Smalls, walking around the house with sunglasses on, by the way. Why you got sunglasses on in your kitchen? What do you dress like it's a full-fledged party and you got sunglasses on in your kitchen? Maybe trying to cover up those red eyes, maybe trying to cover up the glass and the squint in them. I think maybe. I think that is a reasonable interpretation of what was going on in that, what was reasonably going on in that house, dude. However, Frank Warren, yeah, dude, now I see what Frank Warren is talking about. When Frank Warren said, oh no, we need to fight Deontay Wilder. We need to fight somebody this year. If it ain't Deontay Wilder, it's got to be somebody. Because I'm worried about Tyson Fury's mental health. You are right. I'm worried. I'm not worried about it. He can whatever. However, yeah, he clearly looks like this dude is definitely not healed from his drug addiction, man. Because he is high as a cloud in that video from what I could see. But how about you try this, Frank? If you really care for Tyson Fury, or if the people around Tyson Fury really care for him, how about you really take him to some serious therapy? How about you go get a drug abuse counselor, have weekly, two times a week to talk to the substance abuse counselor just to make sure that he's on his plan, that he's staying on his plan. Because, a lot of money, a lot of spare time, and a lot of dudes willing to give you drugs could create a messed up situation. But if you really do want Tyson Fury, and if you really fear for that with Tyson Fury, then make sure Tyson Fury's getting the psychiatric help that he needs, the drug counseling that he needs, whether or not he fights or not. And if he doesn't fight, he doesn't fight. But at least, you ain't got to worry about coming to his house one day, opening the door and getting this real pungent smell and going to find him in the back in a bathroom looking like Sonny Liston. You know what I mean? So maybe you should care for him that way. As far as the N-word and all that stuff goes, like I said, plausible deniability. He sits behind plausible deniability on that one, and he can get away with it. However, dude, you know that you meant to be offensive, and that would cause a lot of problems, and that was his intention. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section, and with that, I'm out. Peace.